Welcome to day two of the See Life Different Challenge. I am Zakira. I am a brand strategist. I am also a cancer survivor, and I am also an author and a podcaster. And all weekend long, I am going live. Um, Empowering creatives, women who are ambitious, women who are differently able, who have been categorized as marginalized throughout their entire life to see life differently, think positively, and operate in their purpose. And we're going to utilize that with a twist because I also have a decade of experience as a professional photographer. And then I also have dived into all things creative. So, photography, digital marketing, podcasting, writing, you name it. I am the creative for creatives. And that's what the challenge is for. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is day two, welcome. If this is day two, go ahead and post in the chat um, what you got from day one. Hopefully you were able to watch the replays. If you did not get the replays and you want to get the replays, I'm going to post share a link that's also where you can get your workbook. Yes, we're going to be doing some work. We're doing some work in here because we're going to be talking today about building our brand around storytelling. But we got to do some work. We got to take a look at what really is our brand, right? Especially since we're so multi-passionate, we're such creative that we do everything else that we want to do, but not what actually fulfills us, right? So go ahead and get this workbook because you have plenty of note pages to fill that in. But two, there's also some helpful resources in the workbook. Helpful resources, and you also will get the replay link to the day one if you missed it, and also add you to the Facebook group. There is a Facebook group that we are using in order to interact with each other. Because what's the point in learning all of this if you can't take action? Take action. Speaking of taking action, I'm now recapping from day one what we did talk about for day one. And day one was all about setting a tone, setting intention, and adjusting your mindset to think more positively. And I gave some tips on how to do that. And with the tips on how to do that, I definitely suggested being able to shift your intentions and use visuals to create and take action on those goals that you set for yourself in your life. All right. And so also, the replays are going to be taken down on December 20th. So this challenge is only going on until December 20th, and the video will be taken down until December 20th. And on December 20th, there will be a link to join me live. There will be a link to join me live. And as a matter of fact, I'm so intuitive. I'm like, I just got an idea. So um, we have a personal concierge, Shawnisha. She's also in the Facebook group, and she's the one that you can reach out to if you have any questions about anything. But also, I'm gonna just say it out loud as a reminder for the concierge to remind me to create a specific link, a group link for us to gather on December 20th. December 20th is also my 30th birthday. Why am I doing this challenge? One, I am gifting it to you. It kind of frustrates me, irks me, annoys me, if you will, seeing such powerful, amazing women not be able to walk in their purpose and believe bigger, literally, but also um, be stagnant where they don't need to be. You know, I've been blessed to be alive for so many years, and I've been blessed to do what it is that I love to do. I'm blessed to say that I have been able to live a creative and flexible life, even with my autoimmune illnesses. Yes, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which uh, is basically considered a secondary cancer. Secondary cancer, and with me being a cancer survivor, I'm a cancer survivor of a rare childhood eye cancer called retinoblastoma. And believe it or not, my right eye is a prosthetic eye. And yeah, I can see you 20/20 vision in one eye. And I don't take that lightly. There are moments where I do have survivor's remorse, but I don't take that, lightly. So I know that. Here's another fun fact about me. My name, middle name, Nayar name means bright light. So it is my goal to empower you to see the light, and operate with light and love. So make sure you get access to day one. Make sure you are in the Facebook group to get access to the concierge, and make sure you catch the replay. Get the link in the email for the replays. Now, we tend to start off every day with affirmations. I am a woman of faith, and I believe in the power of positivity. I believe in the power of affirmation. So that's what we are going to focus on for the next. I think it'll take about 3 minutes. There's actually a brand that I'm reading the cards from. I forgot to show it to you all yesterday, but there's little bitty cards. I got it as a gift after I've invested in myself and attended a business development conference for women. I've kept the cards, and I've used the heck out of them. And I even have the honor of having the founder of the woman, the African descent woman who created these, Vivian, and I've even had her on my podcast. So you can take a listen to my podcast. My podcast is called See Life Different, and you can look for that episode. But Notique, we're gonna read just a few affirmations with Notique. So make sure you have your workbook, you have your notes, whatever you're going to use for notes. Make sure you get it, put away all your distractions, because this is not going to be implemented or not going to be of value if you are distracted. Okay? I am a beautiful woman. I am whole and complete. I am authentic and true. I envy no one. I embrace my uniqueness. I am a woman of vision. I am not confused. I am not disorganized. I walk in clarity. I execute with insight. I am a woman of profit. I execute profitable ideas. I am not afraid of profit. I am not afraid of growth. My work is profitable. I make profitable choices. I am a woman of completion. I am dedicated and committed. I am not a quitter. I am following through. I am finishing what I start. How was that for you? Yeah? Great. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're setting this tone for today, because today we are building our brand. We are building our brand. And you probably are listening to this, even if you are watching. Hopefully, you're watching this live. And you're probably thinking, I already have my brand, or I don't want to be the face of my company. Think about this. Think about your favorite influencers. Think about your favorite photographer, your favorite musician. You know about them how? Now we have, technology has improved so much where someone can just suggest something to you and you find out about it that way. But 9 out of 10 times, how did you first find out about your favorite photographer, your favorite musician, your favorite influencer, your favorite author? Something that they created or something that somebody said about them is how you find out about them. The same thing goes for you and your business, your side hustle, and even you. I would not have been able to still be serving you today if it wasn't for someone else sharing this with you. If you think about it, how did you first connect with me? Someone through someone, or through online advertising, through a book, through a podcast. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to dive down even deeper into how to utilize to tell your story, because there are different ways to sorry, I think I was about to show you all my book, but I think I put it on top of the microphone. But there are different ways to tell your story. There are different ways to write and utilize creativity to tell your story. There is no one way, right? This challenge is for all creatives, no matter what creative medium you operate best in. Okay. But before we do get started, my book is Seeing Life Through a Different Lens. That's one of the methods of storytelling that I have been using. This book started out as a blog, started out as a journal, and then became a book, and then become a podcast. So being able to utilize all of the methods to be able to tell my story in a way that empowers other women of color, other women who are differently abled, other women who are creatives, to be able to walk into their purpose, right? Because this book is about a mom and daughter having a conversation, sharing from different perspectives about overcoming adversity, about advocating for oneself, about pushing through when the going gets tough. Okay, so make sure you have your workbook. It's just you got your note pages, or if you're Team Digital, let's be Team Digital, and we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna actually share my screen a lot today. So pardon me if it shows up wrongly, but I think I'll be able to double check it today. I'll be able to double check my work today. All right. So I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. Now, this may actually be a shorter video than what you're used to, um, but there can be a lot of questions. Feel free to screenshot. Definitely be sure to tag, because every day you do get assignments, which is helpful to post your assignments in the Facebook group so that you're also able to get other support, right? You get your work checked. You know, there's no right or wrong answer, but the goal is for you to have clarity. The goal is for you to have clarity. All right. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen, and um, okay, hold on. There we go. Bear with me, yeah. Okay. All right. So building the brand around storytelling. So we're gonna narrow you down your stories, and we're gonna toot our own horn. We're gonna toot our own horn, and we're gonna share our accomplishments. And with us sharing our accomplishment, it is utilizing your story to attract your ideal customers and clients, and who the people are that you want to serve, right? And then diving even deeper into finding your ideal clients. Now, this is not for you if you are in this mentality where you're already there, like purpose wise, impact wise, you're already there. Like you know your story and you know who you're supposed to serve. But we're team pivot over here. Okay, we're always pivoting, and you'll see even through me sharing that my story, my pivot, my help statement. You're gonna learn about help statements today. Changes all the time. Okay, so but the first thing first is we got to talk about your purpose. What is your purpose? What is your passion? What is your gift? Um, there's a point where you were anywhere between the ages of 7 and 13 where you actually saw it. Even if right now you're just like, I'm not really sure. I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm so burnt out. I get it. But what is that thing that actually brings you joy, right? If you were not paid to do it, which you probably are doing it already, not necessarily getting paid, you would, because I know I have been for a very, very long time. Um, but I'm happy, right? But what is that? So think about that. Write down those sentences for you. Now, for me, it's always been storytelling. It's always been storytelling. You know, for a long time, I had a lot of photography clients. But when I really think about it, there's actually going to be an example that you see. My first official job, I was a summer camp counselor. While I was a summer camp counselor, I was um, writing, editing, and taking pictures for our summer camp newsletter. So it's always been about storytelling, right? And now we got a few more questions for you that may actually help you to really kind of think, who you are, right? Like think of words. Think of not just happy. We've already used the word happy. We've already used the word fulfilled. Who are you as a creative? When you are in your zone, in your element, What are those feelings, those emotions, and what sets you apart? Next question. Do you love love? Right? Like I know I have the biggest heart and I love love. Um, so seeing love, seeing decades of marriages thrive, I love love. And I'm also very in tune, right? And empathetic also means in tune and sensitive to others. Do you crave adventure action? I know I do. I've been to 11 countries so far and I can't wait to hit 30. But where do you think the diet is from? So think of these things. When you're answering these questions for yourself, think about, the little girl at age 7. Think about, between ages 7 and 13. What are those things that you enjoy doing and where do you think that desire came from? You can write that down too. Now we got a lot of questions in mind for you here now too, but feel free to screenshot this. Now it's original but not original. So most of the questions, every coach and mentor has a coach and mentor. So a lot of so these specifically, I'm definitely repurposing, but you probably also have seen it around as well. But remember this: we're not envious about anything. Okay, we are not envious. We are not envious women. Okay, we are not envious. So answer the question with yourself in mind. Who did you need before you started doing what you're doing right now? Who did you need 7 years ago? What did you have? What did you already have as a result of all the things you've been doing? And create your ideal client from there. Create your personality, the personality of the people that you want to serve through there. Okay? So after you've been able to narrow down, the demographics about it, now you got to toot your own horn. I know this is hard. We can talk about ourselves all day, especially if we're in a safe place. We're extroverted introverts, or we're introverts where we can go on and on and on when we're in a very safe place. But to do that on social media, in an email, on a video, oh, I don't know about that. Trust me, I've been there, done that. I would not have been able to talk to you today because here's a funny story. Funny, depending on your definition of it. But my mother told me that before starting preschool, I would not talk to people. Oh, I could speak. I could speak. I was one of those that could speak pretty well at a very young age, but I just refused to speak. Right? I refused to speak. I'm one of those that don't do conflict well. So I would just refuse to speak. I see exactly what's going on. I'm an empath. I'm sensitive. I'm intuitive to all of these things. So I know exactly what's going on, but I refuse to speak. So this is where it comes healthy. It becomes helpful to have a loved one say this thing about you, right? And just think back also to the last 7 years. Again, that's another way to use a resume. My goal for you is to no longer need a resume, but let's use the resume that we have. Let's think back in order to actually go forward on your accomplishments from the last 7 years. Um, LinkedIn has been a great place, especially if you still use LinkedIn to find a job, because LinkedIn is half and half now. You can use it to attract your ideal client, which we're tweaking or creating right now, or you can use LinkedIn for your job. So you can use LinkedIn, you can use your friends and family. Ask them the question of what do they admire about you, right? What do they admire about you? What is a memory that they have about you? Um, Those are normally the top two questions that I would ask, especially for me. Um, I grew up enjoying um, the Chicken Soup for Soul books. I grew up enjoying the Chicken Soup for Soul books, and that was very helpful because there actually was some fill in the blank spot. Have somebody else write some acknowledgments about you. Have someone else share 3 words that describe you. Okay, So now we're gonna get into examples of my story. And I probably am going fast because the goal is for you to watch this over and over and put it in your notes so that it's clear enough for you. And remember, we are not envious. We are not envious. All right, so here's different variations. And what I mean by variation actually is, you know, what we're going to talk about on day three. Day three is mastering your marketing. So you master your mindset to set your attention to what you want. You continue to build your brand and your brand avatar of who you want to serve and how you want to serve them, and then we're gonna actually use clarify all the ways to market and actually market, reach out to the people, take action, right? All right, so for me, I have been photographing professionally for 12 years. Um, more than that, depending on how you look at it, honestly. But when I studied it, it's been about 12 years. And it's always been women. It's always been creatives. It's always been women of color that gravitate toward me. And as a result, we're creating help statements here. So that's why it's underlined. We're creating help statements of what result do you create for the people that come to you. What do they come to you for, and how do you deliver that? So I help creatives to build their confidence through oops, sorry, typo, by providing branding and marketing strategies that convert. And I'm personally leaving it out convert because it can convert to, like you said, confidence. It can convert to um, attracting ideal clients. It can convert to, actually having ease and clarity with marketing, right? Here's another way. If I were to continue, this story um, of what's fun facts about you, fun facts about your family. Do you have siblings? Where were you born? Right. So for me, it's fun to say that I'm an East Coaster. Right. Born in Fort Lauderdale. I wonder, do I have I don't think there's any coasters there. Born in Fort Lauderdale. Lived in Tulsa. Grew up in Tampa. Got photography school in Washington D.C. So all up and down the East Coast. Oh, and don't forget Atlanta. That's where my older siblings are from. I have three older siblings. And what makes you different? Yeah, I self-taught, but I actually studied photography. I didn't study at YouTube University, and as a result, I was able to then continue to photograph, and market myself at conferences while still mastering my craft. And now I'm the author of a book where all of this is combined and repurposed. These stories are repurposed. And then you need a different kind of way to shoot about you. What have you been through that nobody else has been through? If you were to think about, those trivia questions of what is something that most people don't know about you. 9 out of 10 times, most people don't know that my right eye was removed because of a childhood eye cancer, and the fact that I actually am hard of hearing. Right? Uh, And here's now we're expanding. Now we're building up on the tooting your horn that I was referring to you about. So you have who I am. Well, for me, it's how to pronounce my name. My roots, where I came from, especially if you know, anything about your roots. I am a Sagittarius. I came really, really early. It's actually a fun fact. I probably should stop putting out there somewhere. But I was let me look over here. But I was uh hold on, let me stop sharing really quick. Here's a fun fact. I was born early. I was a premature baby and I was born early. So I was in the NICU for a few weeks. But I was supposed to be born on my older brother's birthday. I was supposed to be born on my older brother's birthday. Instead, I was born on my older brother's sister's, my half sister's birthday. So I share a birthday with my half sister who's like 20 plus years older than me. Fun fact, right? Think of a fun fact like that for you, and you put that in your notes. And back to the slide we got. Oops. Um, hold on. Bear with me. I'm not gonna do that again. I'm gonna do that till I finish because I don't even know. I lost my place. Okay. All right. Um. Okay. Great. So now we're tooting our own horn. So for the most part, my most of my start has been through photographing, right? With photographing is when I was able to realize, okay, people need to continue to build their brand. Yes, I would photograph. Remember, I shared in day one when we're setting intentions and how we declare our intentions before we actually take action. Then these same intentions happen shortly after all of this. Was it after? No, before actually. Sorry, before being only one of 5 photographers to capture Eminem. I then was also capturing other, always in the music industry. I love, love, love music. I love, love, love music. And really, without music, um, I would not be inspired regularly. I'm one of those that will utilize music documentaries as feel good. Those are fulfilling, right? So having had the opportunity to photograph a few of your favorites has been a part of my purpose. And I feel like I should have updated it. But once I got started with social media, I had to teach myself, right? I had to teach myself social media. And once I was able to teach myself social media, people were finding out about me on social media. So then I was able to help other artists to do the same thing. So, although yes, it started with music, the more I started to do it, I actually was again starting to gravitate more toward other um, woman-owned, minority-operated small businesses. Okay. All right. Now we're going to talk about finding your ideal clients. So, we're not going to talk about it much because this is actually I'm going to tell you more about this on day 3. Day 3 on social media, websites, email lists. We're going to talk more about everything that we just built up and utilizing it on social media, in your website, and in your email list. So just to get started, because you do have a homework assignment, um, these are your homework assignments. The first homework assignment actually is for you to put it in the Facebook group, right? Because I get it. You want to. We don't do perfection over here, right? We act now and tweak later because that you'll learn more about. That's what marketing really is. Act now, tweak later. You're always tweaking, but always just share it, get it out there, start to get feedback. Although yes, if you're still growing your following, you may or may not get feedback. So that's why you start small, right? So share these tidbits that you learned and make it a highlight on Instagram stories. Um, Additionally, we use videos a lot more, TikTok, but I'd say go to YouTube because that's longevity. But make a short YouTube video sharing your story. What's unique about you? What have you been through that other people haven't? What if you tell people these things, they're like, oh wow, right? What is that? What is that wow factor? And then also repurpose it, write it, speak it, and save it because you're gonna be using it everywhere. Okay. Um, Now for me, this last one about if you've been through grief of any kind, share your story. One, yes, you're gonna attract the people who want to work with you. Two, you're actually gonna feel better because you didn't go through what you went through to grow through it and then just keep it to yourself. That's literally like keeping a balloon inflated. Don't keep everything that you've been through to yourself. So obviously, once you went through it, and you have the moral of the story about it, share it. Okay, use your life story to attract clients. All right, and just a few tips. Always, I definitely use my own influencers, but make sure you don't let imposter syndrome creep in because we're not stealing because you need to utilize in your own language in your own way. Okay, how was that? What were your favorite takeaways? Great. I told you this would be short. So remember, your homework assignment is to post Um, even if you're ready to go and just ready to type it right now, your homework assignment is to do just that. Type your new help statement. How do you help people? Who do you help? And what problem have you solved for them? Okay. Now, day three. It's gonna be busy. It's gonna be busy. We're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about marketing. Social media changing all the time. Social media frustrating the heck out of you. Social media confusing the heck out of you. But it does not have to be. We're all about ease and clarity this week. Okay. So we're going to talk about marketing tips, and I'm also going to open up the option to have a call with me. So you can have a call with me. Um, One, for two things. One, if you're still stuck on anything I was shared today. But two, um, I think that's pretty much it. I'm opening up for you to have a call with me on anything that you're stuck on with this challenge. Okay. Um, I'm kind of blanking out here. I feel like there should be something else I should be telling you. But anyways, make sure you do your homework assignment, and we'll be back tomorrow. For the remainder of the challenge, we're actually going to open. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get off my tongue. Sorry, we're actually opening up tomorrow. We're opening up ways for you to work with me live and in the flesh, baby. So, with more, if you've liked so far all the information you've been receiving, there's more where that came from, and there's more ways to implement and have a sense of community. So, tomorrow we're actually going to open the doors to you working with me in March 2023, Women's History Month. Um, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, do your homework assignments. In the meantime, share your takeaways. Be sure to tag me. Tag me in the videos that you post. I want to see. I want to see. I want to show love. And I think that's pretty much it. Reach out to your concierge if you don't have the workbook. And oh yeah, day five, you get to celebrate with me as well. So I'm gonna post the link in the Facebook group, um, the link to celebrate with me, celebrate the birthday with me. Because remember, every day we're going live every day tonight between 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. Alrighty, get to work.